Welcome back, boys and girls. And as a doctor, I could tell you there are so many people out there who underestimate the power of mighty tick and the Lyme disease it carries. So let's talk about how to protect ourselves from it. If you don't treat Lyme disease early in its stage, and as longer you have it with you, it could actually become a lifetime partner with you. And that could really damage your body, even sometimes kill you. I've seen people that's been put into a wheelchair because of the Lyme disease. So it's something that you don't want to take it too lightly. This is something that you want to get on and really quick and get rid of it. Now, I've seen a lot of people who have tested false negative, and then years later they find out they had Lyme disease and they suffer so much from it. So my opinion is that if you find ticks in your body, and if you have a symptom, not everybody always has a bullseye mark, so don't count on that too much. But if you have the symptoms, talk to your doctor, get a prescription, and get on the antibiotic as soon as possible. Because at early stage, just 1 week of prescription could just knock it out and you be free from Lyme disease. Another misconception is that hunters have higher risk of getting Lyme disease. That couldn't be furthest from the truth, because most hunters are very aware of Lyme disease. So we protect ourselves with a repellent and spray, and we are very cautious about any kind of mark or ticks that we have on our body. The problem is mostly people who have dogs that runs freely in the backyard or goes to go for a walk in the forest, comes back, and they bring ticks into the house. So most people who have Lyme disease, they say they don't even go out hiking. They don't know why they got it, but that's where it happens. And also, people who go hiking in the woods on a regular basis, they're also very aware. But people who might go hiking once or twice a year and they have no idea about ticks or Lyme disease, and they don't want to go through all this hassle, or they don't know the know-how to spray themselves, and that's where they get into trouble. So even when you go hiking, you want to stay on the main road. You don't want to go into the deep woods. And this is how we transport the deer. We cover it with tarp so that people won't see it and get offended. And my lovely wife has cafe latte ready for me. That's good coffee. Okay, now I would never let deer inside of my car because they have ticks, and ticks have Lyme disease. So like I said, I don't want the deer touching anything. So I have the tarp ready at the bottom. I try to make everything easy for myself. So I just get a rope, tie around the neck, hook it up to the pulley, and there it goes. Nice and easy. Now make sure everything you wear is sprayed with tick repellent so that you won't have ticks coming onto you. As a young man, I grew up hunting deer in California with my brothers and my dad. Now in California, West Coast, where it's dry, ticks is not something that we really seen a lot. I think I might have seen it once or twice on a deer body. But when I first hunted in Virginia, the story that I told you about with a muzzleloader, that deer had a bunch of tick in his body and I had no idea. And it expired in the ditch, so I actually had to put it on my shoulder and threw it over so I could get out of the ditch. Now, the problem was that I had no idea I had ticks on my body. But next morning, I got up and I felt like I had like a mosquito bite. So I looked into my belly and there was little small dots. So I got on my binocular, flipped it other way and looked into it like a microscope, and it was a tick. So I kind of freaked out, went on online, trying to get all the information, and sure enough, it was a tick. And I was concerned about Lyme disease. And they told me that tick has to be on you for more than 36 hours for it to transmit Lyme disease, if it had a Lyme disease with it. Now, so I knew it wasn't 36 hours, but then what they were saying is that if you pull the tick out and if it still has its fang in your skin, that staying with your skin for more than 36 hours could cause Lyme disease as well. So I did everything they told me, and then I looked in with my binocular, using as a microscope, and I could see 2 little black dots, and I wasn't sure if it's just the bite mark or the fang, and I didn't want to take any chance. So what I did was I sanitized my knife and then I cut off a piece of my skin, just a little bit, just deep enough to make sure there was no fang hanging out. I lost a little bit of blood and flesh, but I didn't mind. So I got that out of the way, and then I had sense of relief. So long story short, now if you have any kind of ticks on you, you really want to make sure that you get it off before 36 hours. And then if you see any trace of like fangs in there, just lose a little bit of your flesh and blood, then you'll be fine. Now, also, I tried to kill the ticks in different ways, and they will never die. They won't get drowned. I've even put them in the scotch tape and left it there for a week. Opened the scotch tape, and it was still moving. I wash it in a washer with a container with a water full of it. It won't drown. So I was kind of freaking out. This thing will never die. And then later I find out that they are weak to a dry heat. So if you have hunting clothes that you feel like, you don't feel too good about it, make sure you give it a good wash. But more than a wash, you want to put it in a dryer on a high heat for more than an hour, and they will kill it. So after finding the tick on my body, I freaked out and I went on a research. And the only problem with the regular tick repellent is that it stinks really bad. And I know for a fact deer can smell that. And the effect only lasts from 4 to 8 hours, and that's not enough. So doing my research, I came across Sawyer's tick repellent. Not only does it repel ticks, but it actually kills it on contact, including mosquitoes. So it takes care of most of the nasty bugs. And the best part is that it's odorless. It doesn't smell. And because it kills on contact, you don't have to worry about bringing ticks into your house. And also, once you spray it, this will last up to 5 to 6 washes. So I'll spray this thing maybe once every 6 weeks or 2 months. And you spray 3-4 times and the hunting season is already over. So this stuff really works and I like it a lot. Remember, you gotta spray this thing on every hunting clothes that you wear, from boots to your hat. But you gotta especially focus on the part of your body that touches the tall grass or touching a deer, like your gloves, your boots, and your pants and your sleeves. And next, we're gonna talk about how to find a place to hunt. And lastly, like always, thank God for what you have. Enjoy your life with what you got. But mostly remember, losing a little bit of blood and flesh for a better cause is not so bad. See ya.